Eileo guys, and welcome back. So today we have LibertyPuff's account review. Now I did LibertyPuff's account review literally half a year ago, so I'm curious to see how well he has progressed. And let's go ahead and just check it out. But let's go ahead and just listen to that MSL beat real quick. Alright, let's go ahead and get right into it, my boys. So let's see what we are working with here. There's 136 at the moment inside of his box. Let's see if there's anything in storage real quick. Some slimes, a whole bunch of light gigabats. Nothing too remarkable. He does have a variant Zoo, variant Sig, Balrona, I guess other mons that he plans to gleam up in the future. He has a ton of Nat 5s. Holy crap, dude. Just a ton of Nat 5s that I'm assuming that you're going to work on gleaming, because none of them are really maxed out. Some of them are, but he probably pulled them from Heroes Fest so they came maxed out. But let's go ahead and do it reverse style, man. Let's start off with the dark types and work our way up. So he did pull a triple star Master Race Lucy. Pristine, man. Pristine. I guess you're going to work on her whenever you get the chance, unless you, well, you already have one, so I guess you'll work on her later. A Dark Lupin. I would love to have a Dark Lupin just because I think he looks super duper cool. A Dark Arthur that you have on a Ruin set, so you may be actually using him or plan to use him. But let's take a look at his gems. He should be triple HP because he is an HP aggressor, but it looks like he's double HP and crit rate. But if you guys check out the gems, all kinds of crit rate and resist on that gem. That gem right there has some lovely crit rate. Not crit rate, but lovely resist on it. And then that one has some crit rate and again some resist and even a little bit defense. Overall, he's built just beautifully, man. If you could get a mon with max crit rate and near max resist, I mean resist cap is like 80, but 80 or 75, one of the two, but near max, holy crap, like he's gonna make you curse. This is great, so definitely working on him. Got a Dark Garuda, you haven't touched him yet, understandable. A Dark Radis, and he's a defense aggressor. You have him on triple defense, which is fine. It doesn't like you're really using him. I can't really understand where you would use him at in terms of content, because his CC isn't that strong, unfortunately. Only 80% when you can have other mons that can do, you know, a lot more than that. Like what Dark Vic can do 100%, Water Sir can do 100%. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention with Arthur, he does have him built a little bit more damage wise, which is fine because he's on a Ruin set. But if he didn't have max crit and didn't benefit from that crit damage, I would always say run your aggressors with whatever stat that they excel in, because if not, you're just losing out on survivability and you're trying to compromise for more damage. But if you don't have the Ruin set to back it up, or Intuition set, preferably Ruin set to back it up, you're just wasting your time. But he has a Dark Venus over here. She's on defense, HP, recovery, perfectly fine. Probably just a Titan's mon. He does have some resist on her as well. Definitely not bad. A Dark Flora. She has all kinds of resist on her. She doesn't really need crit rate either, for the simple fact that she has double sap scales off that monster's HP and not her own attack. But he has her defense, HP, defense, so he just has her for survivability, which is fine. A Dark Banshee, really high resist on her, a sickeningly high resist. But that one has a defense gem with some decent crit rate on it, some disgusting resist on it, just absolutely vile and disgusting. That one has HP and some good resist on it as well. And then he also has a defense one with okay crit rate on it, and then this nasty, just sick nasty resist. Like holy crap. There's not really any area that I could recommend you using Banshee in, unfortunately. But, you know, if they ever go back and actually buff her and make her worth it, I could definitely see this one being a threat. Unfortunately, with Sap, it is not much of a big threat, though. Here's his Dark Wukong. All of his mons just have just disgustingly high resist. Seal and Stun. Really, really high resist. Defense. HP. So he's making him a little bit more tankier than being attack based, which, I mean, it's a proper way to go. You can build balanced mons either one of two ways. You can make them more defense based, or you can make them more attack based. He chose to make his Dark Wukong more defense based, but he's backing it up with resist. So he's using the mon in the Eileo hands, but he's using the mon in a smart way. So if you're going to compromise by not by building a balanced mon with attack, build him with defense, but make it worthwhile. So his Dark Wukong's job is just to be annoying, and I mean, it's not perfect, but it's darn near perfect. So good to go, man. Okay, he has max crit rate on his Dark Sealer as well. He's not booked, so he may not use him. If you do use him, man, don't forget to book him. Dark Sealer is amazing. I absolutely love Dark Sealer. And more of a bruiser-ish type build, so crit rate, HP, and attack. Perfectly fine, and he does have that max crit rate as well, so perfectly fine, built decently. A Dark Somnus, which is, what is it, a Dark Drowsy, I believe. He has some resist on him and some near max crit rate. He has him on HP, crit rate, and attack. So more of a bruiser build again. I'm not really sure where he may or may not be using him, because I mean, his hunter's really, really good, and I guess sleep in a way can be very, very useful in a PvP situation, but we have to take a look at his PvP squad before I divulge any further. He also has a Evo 3 Dark Tina, who is on HP, crit rate, and attack. So once again, just beautiful gems, man. Beautiful gems. She has high resist. I'm assuming with that HP gem on her, she might be used in PvP by some nature, if not just for the crit rate. Because if she was used in PvP, I mean not PvP but PvE, you could just run crit rate, double attack, and let her have at it. But she may be used for PvP. I could be wrong, but regardless, she's built wonderfully. I am absolutely jealous. She has high resist considering that she's on a Siphon set, and she has max crit rate, which is disgusting. Dark Kiki, she's on an Intuition set. She has a little bit of resist, but he's going for that max crit rate on her. Again, she isn't booked either, so he may or may not be using her. It depends. HP, crit rate. And she's going full glass. Look at that crit rate. Look at that resist. Look at it, and now respect it. So this one's more, I guess, obtainable in terms of builds. Ideally, you want a mon on an Intuition set with a crit rate gem if they require crit, and then you want at least some decent subs for their other two gems, so you can hit that max crit rate, and he is over that max. He's got a Dark Shinobi, Evo 3, some resist on him, but all kinds of crit rate, all kinds, and he has a crit damage gem on him as well, I guess to help offset him not being on a ruin set, which is perfectly fine. That is a nice chunk of attack on him as well, and that has a little bit of crit rate and resist on it. But if you're capped out, you're capped out. It doesn't matter what gems you put on him after that point, but he's built him very, very wisely. I have no complaints. Here's his Gatito on a broken set, and he's hitting max crit rate. So my boys out there, if you got a Gatito with a square slot, there is no excuse as to why you can't hit max crit rate on your Gatito. Ideally, Gatito should be on Ruin, but getting him max crit rate is priority number one. If your Gatito isn't max crit rate or near max crit rate on Ruin, there's no excuse. You can do it. It can be done. He's rocking that crit rate attack, and attack. So he's going full glass, he's going full in, which is what I like to see. Next up we have his Dark Birdie. I'm not really sure if he uses Dark Birdie or not, because again, he's not booked either. But HP, and HP, triple HP. He is an HP aggressor anyways, so it's not like it's taking away from anything. Okay crit rate on him. Actually, not okay crit rate, I lied. Not the best gem wise, but it doesn't like he really uses him anyways, so what's the point? And then we have Dark Sea Star. Looks like you might have been using your Dark Sea Star at one point, but then you're just like, you know what, forget it, man. Forget it. Defense, triple defense, and he does have actually some decent crit rate on her, to be honest, and some okay resist, especially running her with the crit lead. That should help boost her crit rate up by, I think, another 10% maybe. I could be wrong, but she's sitting at 63 currently. Definitely not bad. I mean, aggressors aren't really used for crit damage. They can be used for crit damage, but the main selling point of aggressor is having high resist and having the high stat that they need in order for them to be tanky. So do keep that in mind. He has a Dark Loki with some crit rate on him and some decent resist on him as well. Defense with some resist. HP with some more resist. HP with even more resist, and actually some defense percentage. Definitely not bad at all. Definitely not bad at all. No books for him, but I'm not sure if he uses him. So do keep that in mind as we go through this review. He has a Dark Sparket, which I have one, but I can't get him to Evo 3 because I just don't have enough Sparkets. So I would definitely love a Dark Sparket. And looks like you're working on books on him, at least slightly, but he has some resist, not much crit rate, all kinds of HP, defense, HP. So he might be a work in progress at this point, which is perfectly fine. I fought Jaemins, if you guys haven't seen the friendly attack video, and it was just rest in peace to the squad. But looks like it might be a work in progress, so I don't know what he's doing with it, but that's okay. And another Dark Sea Star. This one actually is bringing the crit rate and the resist. So crit rate, defense. So he's making this one more based around damage and not so much survivability. More damage based with some resist added as well. And with the leader skill, I'm sure she hits crits all the time. So very, very decent crit lead. I'm not going to say like OP, but especially for people just beginning the game, a Dark Kraken built like this can actually be very, very helpful for you. Then a Dark Rudolph that he got to Evo 3, even though them dudes up on Reddit will be like, nah man, don't Evo 3 your Dark Rudolph. Keep her Evo 2.3 so you can get that single target DPS action. But Liberty was like, nah man, nah fam. Max crit rate, and it has a crit rate lead. So again, another decent mon, especially for Titans because of the attack down. Hunter, not so much, but because of the attack down, it is nice for 3 turns if it does hit. She's on crit rate, HP, and defense, not attack, but maybe just because the defense gem has the crit rate up there. But again, even though she's an attacker type, she does come with attack down, so he may be prioritizing debuffing over damage, which is perfectly fine. She has the crit rate to kind of make up for a little bit of the damage lost. A little bit. I'm not saying all the damage lost, but 10% of the damage. But her main selling point is the attack down for Titans. You have a Dark Benji, which you have on HP, defense, and then attack. So he's pretty much bruiser build as well, and he has what, persevere. Not really sure how well this mon fares in any content. As far as I know, persevere takes forever to kick in, and then it might reset if you go to like a next round. So it's hit or miss, man. It's hit or miss. Next up is Dark Thor. 100% crit rate on that dude. Well over 100%, and some decent resist on him. He's fully booked up, which is disgusting. He's on attack, crit rate, and HP. Again, bruiser build. Thor does put out some damage, but his main selling point is that disgusting defense down. And him being a courageous striker doesn't hurt at all, but his main selling point is that defense down, so you kind of want him to survive. And especially with that maxed crit, you do get some damage out of him as well. But Dark Thor is just amazing. And here's his other, Dark Rudolph. She's in a similar boat as this one. He's aiming for max crit rate, and then crit rate, HP, attack. This one's a little bit more damage based rather than defense based. Perfectly fine. Dark Kana, repping at max crit rate, HP, attack. So again, another bruiser build, and I believe Kana can just heal everyone. Yep, Hana heals everyone for her 5-star skill, and then self-sustain for her 3-star skill. Perfectly fine. I mean, you could add more resist, but again, it depends on where she's being used at. Dark Bulby, near max crit rate, a little bit resist in there as well. HP gem with some crit rate and resist up there, and then attack gem has some crit rate, and then crit rate gem, and she comes with double exposed weakness, so more of a kind of debuffing mon, not so much damage, but I mean, if you're going to use an attacker and have some attack on it, why not go for the damage if you can? I mean, ruin set isn't necessary as long as she can survive, which is why he has that HP gem on her. Let her do her job, but she's fine, dude. She's fine. Got a Dark Sand Wraith, and he has that Persevere too with SP Siphon. I do find his SP Siphon useful for me in like one of the Colossus where you need a mon to siphon SP, but other than that, I don't really use this dude. But he's rocking max crit rate, HP, crit rate, and attack. And again, on more of a bruiser build. Traditional bruiser builds are HP, attack, and defense. But if you have a mon that you want to do a little bit more damage with, Eileo's version of a bruiser build also consists of crit rate, HP, attack. Pretty much the same thing. I mean, not really, but pretty much the same thing. He's built fine. He's built fine. Like I said, my only use for him was Colossus, so I can't really comment where else he would be good at. Dark Fib on a Pugilist set with, I'll go ahead and just say max crit rate, and then some decent resist on him. Attack, crit rate, and attack. So he's going just straight full glass, which this one's probably going to be annoying. Just my guess, if Fib can get that stun off, he's probably going to be very, very annoying. So this is actually quite a decently built mon, especially if he gets booked up whenever Liberty uses him, if he decides to use him, which I'm going to go ahead and assume you do use him if you're going to go out and get him a Pugilist set. But beautifully built. Beautifully built. Dark Lucy, triple square master rates once again. Max crit rate and then some resist. She needs max crit rate for her hunter. If she doesn't have max crit rate, you're wasting your time. But attack, crit rate, and then HP. So more of a bruiser build. He's trying to get some damage out of her while getting some survivability out of her. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all, man. Good job. Good job. She's wonderful. So if you guys have any of these mons, do take note and see how well they are built and try to emulate that. Dark Jiangxi, whatever the heck you want to call her, she comes with curse, just not very useful mon. So I can see why, you know, maybe there wasn't a big investment in it, because curse is weird. It works when you have other mons with curse, but if you don't have other mons with curse, there's no point in it. There's just no point in it. But moving on, Dark Mona, who's also on a siphon set. She has some decent resist on her, and then max crit rate just about. Again, disgusting, especially with that lead. Just disgusting. disgusting. Attack, crit rate. Yep, so she's full glass, so she's probably just a farming mon, but holy crap, that is a beautiful farming mon with that morale boost and that hunter. Beautiful. Then here's this other Gatito, repping at max crit rate. Again, not on Ruin, but I would prefer you to at least have max crit rate before worrying about Ruin. And he is on a intuition set with some crit damage to help kind of make up for the lack of not being on Ruin. And that one does have some crit damage on it as well. And that even has some crit damage on it as well. So he's missing out on maybe, what, 15%? 15% of crit damage bonus from Ruin. So pretty much almost nothing. So he's built quite well. I'll skip the lower level ones because they're a work in progress. We'll go over here to Light. What is her name? Oh, Light. Oh, Light Grab Bag. There you go, Light Grab Bag. She has some resist on her, and she is a tank, so she pretty much just needs resist and HP. But recovery, HP, and defense, more of a healer build instead, which is understandable because even though she is classified as a tank, she comes with attack up, so you kind of want her to get her 5-star skill off as soon as possible so she can give attack up to the whole entire squad. So decently built. I can't really complain. That's what she needs. That's what I would give her. I would aim for more resist in the future, but 60% resist already. All you need is 20% more and you're done. So actually, she's good to go, man. She is good to go. And then a Light Pixie. A little bit resist on her, not much crit rate, but again, she's recovery type, doesn't really matter. HP, defense, and then recovery. So she's fine. Obviously aim for more high resist, but she's like Water Siren, but with defense down instead of, what is it, like HP Siphon or something that Water Siren has. So she can be useful. I mean, you can maybe use her as a debuffer in Titans, but other than that, I mean, there's other mons. Light Verde, some high resist on her. She's repping at defense, HP, and HP on an HP set, so she has all kinds of HP. She's tanky. He's taking advantage of her adrenaline as well. So the higher her own max HP, the higher that she gets to heal the squad. Beautifully built, just beautiful, man. And then Venus over here, not much resist on her, but she's HP, triple HP on a recovery set. That's what I like to see. Now you may be wondering why triple HP on a recovery set. Well, if you read her skill descriptions, not only does her adrenaline make her heal herself based off her own max HP, but her shield requires max HP as well. So do keep that in mind if you have a Venus. I mean, I have no complaints other than the resist, but that could be changed. Then Light Wild Fang with some high resist, not much crit rate, but again, balance type, HP, defense, HP. This one's more of a tankish build, so he's using her as more of a debuffer than as a damager, which defense down and shock, that's pretty much her job. Her job is just to make other mons make you hurt even more. So again, definitely not bad at all. Then we have what is it, like Light Pegasus, I believe. Decently high resist on him. Again, he is the defender type. He doesn't need damage. I'm working on building one as well, man. So HP, and death. HP, death, man. He's fine. Again, his job is to debuff with his shock. And adrenaline does heal the squad as well, which is why he has 2 HP gems on him. But he's following a similar build to what was one of the other mods I'd shown earlier. I already can't remember because there's so many. But he's following similar to trying to benefit from the adrenaline, but also having some survivability with that defense gem. Light Shiva coming in with some decent resist on him, and actually not decent resist, I mean decent crit rate on him, and a whole bunch of nasty resist and some nasty HP. I'm saying he's on triple HP probably. Yep, he's on triple HP with very, very high resist, and actually he squeezed some crit rate out of him as well. Light Shiva isn't used for damage. He's just used to be annoying because of his battle rush and his aggressor status. But this one, clean, man. Just absolutely clean. Light Yeti, he has some resist on her. Defense, HP. Again, she's there to debuff. And by debuff, obviously use her morale boost to lead into her shock. And that's pretty much it. So you want her to just survive. And I'm sure that she does that. I mean, maybe he doesn't use her. So do keep that in mind as well. Light Vault. All kinds of resist on her. And some defense. So he went more for another defensive base mon versus making it attack base. HP, defense. High resist. Extremely high resist. No complaints. I mean, you get shock on them, and if you can get Predator off with her, that's added damage, but her main selling point is the shock, and you need her to survive in order to do the shock. So again, no complaints there. Light Incubus is on a Ruin set with some max crit rate and a little bit resist on him. I'm not sure how useful he is. I know on paper he sounds amazing, but in reality, I've heard others. I've heard other things. HP attack crit rate, so he's more of a bruiser-ish type build, which is fine because I believe if you try to run this dude like complete glass, oh, he's glass alright. Like, this dude gets hit, he's gonna die. He's gonna die. And if he dies, what's gonna happen to the HP siphon? What's gonna happen? Nothing, because he's gonna be dead. There's no his selling point is destroyed. That's it. Light Slime Soldier. You might just be playing around with that one. I'm not gonna waste my time on that one. Light Tina has her on a siphon set as well. So another great farming mon. Max crit rate on her. She has attack, crit rate. Again, just a farming mon. Max crit rate. He's trying to take advantage of her having a little bit more crit rate than other mons because she's a light type, which is 10% more. Obviously, I knew that, but I was just testing you guys. So he's just taking advantage of that. Nothing wrong with that. And then Light Dart. Not Dark. Darg. Light Dart. He comes with morale boost and Predator. So he's like the light version of Dark Gatito. He has him on an HP set, which is slightly weird. Maybe he needs some more for survivability. Not really sure of this mon's uses anyways, because Predator is nearly equal to Hunter, I believe. Nearly equal. But he doesn't have a square slot, so that's probably why there's been minimal investment into him, which is fine. Light Seedler, decent resist, decent crit rate, defense aggressor, defense. He's fine. Not really much to say about him content wise because his aggression is on his first skill and not his second skill. If it was his first skill that had attack down, there could be some utility maybe in Titans somewhere for him, but with how he's built now, you could probably use him in maybe clan versus clan or PvP if you want, depending on what kind of mons that you have. Then he has a variant, Light Sun Wukong, with defense down and shock. Very high resist. Very high resist. A little bit of crit rate in there as well, even though he's a tank type. Crit rate can't hurt. It never hurt anyone. But that high resist makes him very annoying. And he's HP, defense, HP. Clean, man. Look at that 23% resist. Clean AF. That one has 22% resist on it, and then 16% resist on it, and some defense on it as well. Clean AF, man. That Light Wendigo though, with that C striking action and attack down, 100% Titans Mon. 100%. Max crit rate on him to benefit from that light status and to get more damage out of him, but he's on HP, crit rate, and then attack. So more of a bruiser build, just so he can survive longer in Titans, which is what I would recommend, because if your Sea Striker dies, then what's the point of having your Sea Striker, because they're not going to do any damage. And then we have the other one over here. Again, not too much resist, but he's going for max crit rate, or at least aiming for it. And that one's on HP, defense, attack. It doesn't have a square slot, so obviously building crit rate on it might be a little bit more difficult. Still doable. 80% crit rate is still good enough, especially if you get him on with a crit lead for Titans. So he should be fine. He's fine. I would actually love to have a light Wendigo, because this dude has 2 and I have 0. Light July, max crit rate on her, no resist, crit rate, HP, attack, so more of a bruiser build as well. And she comes with seal and defense down, and she needs that crit rate for her seal and defense down to work. So again, more of a PvP orientated mon, but I can understand her not being used when you have a lot of other mons that can be used instead. Light Yaksha, some resist, very minute resist, but decent crit rate on her. She doesn't have a square, so I can understand the lack of investment at the moment, but another clan versus clan kind of PvP mon. He has a light sig with no square. He doesn't need it, because I don't believe his courageous strike scales off of crit rate, which it doesn't, but it could always help. But he has some resist on him and some crit rate on him as well. Definitely not the best in the world, but we can already tell that LibertyPuff knows how to build his mons. Not bad at all. Not bad at all. Light Snowy with that max crit rate. Snowy's one of the mons where in the beginning he's very useful, and then it just dies. Well, not her, because her name's Jill Frost, but she's very useful in the beginning when you don't have a healer, but then it just dies off really quick. So clan versus clan, even clan versus clan is kind of a stretch for this one, and Titans is just like a no for me, dog. Just a no. Light Nike, look at that resist on that Light Nike. He has her fully booked. That resist is just nasty, just sick, nasty. I am just disgusted. It's beautiful, man. It is absolutely beautiful. And she's on her defense set, so she gets that 20% bonus from the protection set. She's clean, man. She is clean. Look at that resist on her. Like you might be working on a Wood Merlin. You got him with all kinds of resist on him and aiming for some crit rate. You know, when you're building mons for Titans, obviously aim for crit rate and resist to get the most damage out of them. But again, you do need resist, because if they get stunned, then it doesn't matter how much damage that they have or how much damage that they put out. If they're dead, they're dead. So do keep that in mind. But he does have a square slot on him if you do wish to build him with crit rate in the future. Wood Radis, just a debuffer. He could use more resist on him, but you might not be working on him too much at the moment. Just giving him whatever you can. But he's on HP defense, so his gems are fine. The fibs are Titans mon, so I won't even waste my time with that. We'll take a look at one of them though. But HP, defense. Again, for survivability, he's aiming for some resist, and he has both of them fully booked up, which is what I'm assuming. Perfectly fine. Wood Sanzang. Again, going for high resist. What is it? HP, defense, HP. Yep. So again, you're just going to make these mons survive so they can get their debuffs off, and with that high resist, it just helps ensure that they can get their debuffs off as much as possible. Perfectly fine. You do have a Wood Merlin on a leech set though, with all kinds of resist all kinds of resist. All kinds. Just disgusting. HP, attack, defense, bruiser build, phenomenal. Phenomenal. Like, if I could get my Wood Merlin on this, phenomenal. I'm sure he does all kinds of damage because there's nothing that's going to kill him right off the bat. He has the Drain from the Leech set on him, and he has a defense gem to help make him a little bit more tankier than normal. Beautiful, man. Beautiful. We'll take a look at one Hana because he has 3 of them. Again, aiming for high resist, and she's defense, recovery, and HP. High resist. She does have some defense on her as well. Attack doesn't really matter, but she does have some defense percentages on her as well, and some HP. But fantastic, man. Fantastic. This is all that she needs because she is a recovery type, and the goal of her is to spam attack down and then get defense up ASAP. Phenomenal. Wood Kana, which you have 3 of those, so let's just find the best one of those. That one has max crit rate. That one has max crit rate. All of them have max crit rate on them. And they do need max crit rate for their Courageous Strike. So they're built wisely. And he does have some resist on all of them as well. And HP, crit rate, and attack. So more of a bruiser build. Again, he's going for maximum survivability while trying to push the limits of maximum damage. So very, very wise build. Very, very wise build. I'm going to go ahead and assume all of them have that on them as well. My boy. Pristine. Pristine. Just clean. Thor needs... Yep, he does need crit rate for both of his skills as well. He is max crit rate. He is triple square master race. Oof. 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 No resist on him, unfortunately. No resist added. But it is what it is. HP, attack, and what? Crit rate? Yep. HP, attack, and crit rate. Again, he's following the Kana build. Pristine, man. Pristine. Hopefully give him like a resist lead or something. Pristine. Wood Incubus. Near max crit rate. 2% off. I'll just go ahead and say max. A little bit resist on him. HP, attack, crit rate. Great mon for farming. Great mon for farming, especially if you don't have any good wood mons. Phenomenal mon for farming. He's built quite well. No complaints. I mean, if you can get some books for this dude one day, have at it. Wood Banshee. Yes, with some decent resist on her and a little bit of crit rate on her. Attack, HP, and attack. So she's going more of a glass type build, which is fine. I would say she's useful, but then again, I never found her useful, so I could see why there's a lack of investment in her. She's not bad, but there's just other mons that can do her job with a defense down on their first skill instead of their second. Wood Miho, though, he has her super evoed with max crit rate. She's triple square master race. Liberty, we know you have a triple square master race fetish, man. It's okay. HP, attack, crit rate. So more of a bruiser build again, which is fine. She's fully booked up. He obviously uses her if he got her to super evo, and her gems are pretty much plus 15. She's fine. She's fine. She probably needs that crit rate, to be honest, because she's just a little bit lackluster damage wise. It's not that her skills are bad, but damage wise she is a little bit lackluster, so I'm sure she hits quite decently now with that intuition set. So perfectly fine. We'll skip one of the Cupids as well, but this one has a level 6 lead and Soul Moon Red and the shield. Shield doesn't scale off anything, unfortunately, but recovery, HP, defense, perfectly fine. Dude has all kinds of resists. He has the gems that he needs, perfectly fine. Another Hana, which I'll skip. He has a Evo 3 wood purse. Not sure why. Maybe he just has an excess amount of purses, but it is what it is. All kinds of resists on her as well. Again, not 100% sure about her uses though, because the sap and the attack down is just a weird combination. a weird combination. But HP with a whole bunch of resist on it, defense with a whole bunch of resist on it, and then HP again with a whole bunch of resist on it. Beautiful, man, beautiful. Wood Jean, John, whatever the heck you want to call her, she does have Stalker, so she doesn't need max crit rate for her to do what she needs to do, because she starts off with what, 30%? Sure does. He has her on Ruin. Just go balls deep for that attack, and he is doing that. And crit rate, crit damage, and then attack. He's straight going for the attack. Good job, man. Phenomenal. All kinds of resist on her as well, and max crit rate. Beautiful. Wood Arthur is next. He's on a broken set, but he has max crit rate and all kinds of resist. So even though he's not on Pugilist, I guarantee this one is just an annoying piece of garbage that I do not want to fight. Attack, crit rate, and then defense. Interesting, but you might wonder why he's on a crit rate. Well, I'm assuming because of his HP siphon. He does have some self-sustain there, so it can kind of offset the HP gem a little bit. But at the same time, you know, it doesn't replace an HP gem, but it can be close to it, especially if he's hitting hard enough to heal himself each turn. Could definitely be very, very annoying. What a new max crit rate on this dude, and then max resist on him as well. Disgusting. HP, crit rate, and attack. Again, more of a bruiser-ish type build, so for some more added survivability, his damage should be just fine as well with that max crit rate. Pristine, man. Pristine. Then his other Dark Miho, she might be a work in progress because she isn't as well built as the other one, but that's fine. We know that you know how to build your Dark Mihos. I mean, not your Dark Mihos, but your Wood Mihos. We know that you know how to build it, man. So we're not gonna worry about that. Level 10 slime, man. He doesn't have any square slots. What's going on here? No square slots? Out of all the mons that you have, this one doesn't have a square slot. What is my life, man? What is my life? These are all Titans mons pretty much as well, which is fine. So is there any? No, there's not much Katines. There's only one Katine here. Some resist, defense, HP, and HP. Wonder why he doesn't have recovery on that one. He might not even use that one. He may not even use it. I'm not sure why he doesn't have recovery on it though. HP. Wait, that one's defense. HP, HP. Nothing really scales off HP either. Maybe he uses the lead, and then whatever other mons that he has on the team kind of doesn't really hog up SP, so maybe Katine gets it. Very, very interesting though. Interesting. Moving on though to Water Siren. He has some resist on them as well. Even some crit rate, not really needed, but defense, recovery, and then HP. Fine, that's what all healers should have on it. And that one, that's why I kind of question this one. Not really sure what the goal is other than just to keep the HP up on it. So maybe he's actually running a healer with this one to keep him healed, and hopefully he gets defense down. I mean defense up, off. I'm not 100% sure. Not 100% sure. And then double defense down on this one. Maybe not much investment in this one though, because there's not really any resist on it at the moment. But double defense down is just like Water Shelly, but instead of having, I think, like Predator for the 5-star skill, it's defense down again. Perfectly fine. It is skill booked up as well, so maybe he does use her. And HP, defense. More of just a surviving type build to get the debuff off, which is fine. It's fine. And then let's take a look at his Water Indras. They each have some decent resist on them. This one actually has extremely high crit rate on him, so he's more damage based. Crit rate, flat HP gem, a flat HP gem. Oof. I mean, decent subs on it, but still flat, man. And then attack, decent subs on it again with an HP set instead of a leech set. I don't really have any comments about it. I mean, high resist and then all kinds of crit rate on it. I don't really have too much complaints. I mean, it is what it is. I'm sure he does his damage with that max crit rate, so that one's on a broken set as well. Not near max crit rate, but some resist. And then this one is on a leech set with some decent resist on him as well, with HP, attack, and attack. So he's a little bit more glassy than the other two. Perfectly fine, but you have 4 of them. 4 water Indras. Gosh, man. Gosh. But moving on, Water Balrona. She has some resist and some crit rate on her. She's not crit rate based, so she doesn't need it. So do keep that in mind. But she's running attack. Attack with all kinds of crit rate right there. And then HP. So again, more damage based. Perfectly fine for a Sea Striker. Obviously, Leech would be the best set in the world if possible. At least that's what I like to think. Of course, that's my opinion. But Leech would be the best. But not bad at all. Not bad at all. I mean, you have her built more than my Wet Balrona because Eileo doesn't have a Wet Balrona. 2 Kiras. We'll take a look at this one though. This one has max resist pretty much. I mean 6% off. I'll just go ahead and say max resist. Recovery, defense, and HP. So built more like of a recovery mon instead of the tank, which is fine because with the attack up, again, just like water, I mean not water, but light grab bag, you want to get that 5-star skill off ASAP. If not, what's the point of having that mon? So built well. Built well. Water Mari. Little bit resist on her and some crit rate, all kinds of HP. She is like a great value water Persephone, but more Titans based instead of being kind of PvP / PvE based, because Petrified doesn't work on Titans. But she's built well. She's built well. Alright, so next up is Water Sparkit. Water Sparkit is again great Titans mon. Great Titans mon. Max crit rate on him, and he does need max crit rate for his Courageous Strike to work. Very, very important. And he's triple score master race. Just disgusting, man. Your account is just nasty. It's just nasty, man. I'm disgusted by this account. Attack, HP, and then crit rate. Again, perfectly fine. Survivability is very, very important, especially up in the later Titans. He's great, man. He's great. Get that dude booked up if possible, though. Get that dude booked up. Pray to the gods that you can get that 5-star skill booked up, man. Pray to the gods. Next up is Water Poseidon. Basically, he is like the Nat 5 version of Water Thor / Mona / Water Mona, right? I think Water Mona-ish. Actually, kind of like Water Mona fused with Water Valk, but Water Valk's still a Nat 5, but she has defense down instead of, what is this, HP Siphon? Nope, morale boost. But he gives morale boost to everyone, and he takes forever to get, so by the time you get him, you have mons that you normally outclass him anyway, so there's not really much point because he is a water mon, but Liberty has him built anyways just to flaunt him. And he's on, what, attack, crit rate? So full glass, high resist on him, max crit rate, taking advantage of that predator. He's great, man. He's great. Water Garuda has some resist on him, and he's on a Valor set with HP, attack. He's fine. He's perfectly fine. I mean, defense down, elemental edge. You could build him with crit rate, but why? But why would you do that? Why would you do any of that? Water Yuki, who is super evoed as well. No lead though, which is okay. He has her built with that nearly max resist, and then attack, triple attack. So maybe you're trying to offset some of her damage by giving her some attack with some resist, because I mean, stat wise, The problem with Yuki is that she doesn't really excel in anything. Like, yes, she has double sap, but there's other mons like Water Artemis that has sap. There is Fire Persephone. There's Wet Miho, Flora. There's plenty of other mons with sap, but they're actually, you know, balanced or attacker type. So he's just trying to offset that and actually make her an attacker type instead of a tank because, you know, trying to get a little bit more DPS out of her. Again, sap scales off that monster's HP and not her own damage, but he's trying to get a little bit more utility out of her, which is, you know, quite a creative way of thinking. Quite a creative way. Good job, Liberty. Good job. Then this Water Cupid over here. I don't really see much use for him with the purification. I haven't ran into a situation where I needed it, but he has it anyways, and he's on defense, recovery, HP, which all mons that recovery type should be on. Just all mons in general. Neza, looks like you're getting around to Neza. Neza is Evo 3 and level 60. You just haven't gemmed her up yet. Another Titan's mon, which is fine. Water Sura, he needs that max crit rate, which he has. He has very, very high resist as well with that crit lead. Nasty, man. Just nasty. Attack, attack, crit rate. He's going full glass with this dude as well. I mean, his stats kind of promote that as well, especially with his build. So you can either build him to be more tankier or get some damage out of him. I mean, his damage isn't that much, to be honest, but if you can try and offset it even a little bit, why not? Why not? Sura's built fine, man. He's built fine. Water Loki over here coming in with max crit rate, and then what, 50% resists. Again, very, very clean. He needs that max crit rate for his hunter. If a mon doesn't have max crit rate and they attack with hunter and they don't crit, congratulations, your mon is changed into a souped up nat 2. So please remember that. Please remember that. But he's on a rune set as well with HP, attack, crit rate. Trying to maximize that damage and survivability on the dude. Perfectly fine. Water Suck, who is a tank type. Little bit resist on her, very, very little bit resist, but near max crit rate, and she's on Puge. HP, defense, and then crit rate. Again, her utility is more for her getting that morale boost and then spamming attack down versus damage, so I can see why she's built like that, especially with her being a tank type. So if you don't kill her first because of that resist, I guess he's trying to offset it with, hopefully she stuns people. She could definitely be very, very problematic, but I mean, so far not much complaints. Not like I have a super evo Water Suck though. Then he has Leo over here, which he also has super evoed on a pugilist set, rocking defense, HP, and then defense. Again, his selling point is the taunt and the stun, which he may actually use because he is super evoed. If not, he's just flexing. He could use a little bit more resist on him, but this is on a pugilist set, which is already just hard to get anyways. So I can't really critique it too hardcore because we all know that Dragons gives you like one decent gem every other month pretty much. So not much complaints for that. And then Water Vic, double defense down on her. She has some resist, a little bit of crit rate on her on a broken set. Attack, attack, HP. So more of a just standard attacking set. He's trying to get as much damage out of her as possible, and hopefully some utility with that, a little bit resist added so she can get her defense downs out as much as possible. She's fine. Water anew, near actually max resist on him. Max resist, super evoed, and then triple square master race with attack, HP, and then attack. He's fine. He's fine. I mean, he comes with defense down and predator. He doesn't need crit. He doesn't need it. He's a debuffer slash kind of attacker with his 5-star. He's fine. In terms of his uses, he's like Water Valk pretty much in terms of his uses, but he's built smart. He's built wisely. Let's move on to light grab bag though. He has at level 50. She's on defense, HP, recovery. Even though she's balanced, she has morale boost and vigor. So he's trying to build her more recovery typed so she can get her SP off. Well, not her SP off, but her SP full as soon as possible so she can spam that vigor. Perfectly fine. Perfectly fine. And then here we are in the land of shinobis over here. We'll not take a look at that one. Okay, we'll take a look at these two because I'm sure he knows how to build them. And this video is long enough. HP, attack, defense, bruiser build on this one. Defense, attack, HP, bruiser build on that one. And then attack, HP, attack. This one's more, a little bit more damage based, which he is Evo 3. So he has a little bit more survivability on him compared to the other two, which are only Evo 2. So I can kind of understand him trying to offset that a little bit. But he has some decent crit rate on him. He has some resist, and he's on the triple HP set. Just not a triple HP set, but he's on an HP set to help give him a little bit more HP to keep him surviving a little bit longer, to offset him not having a defense gem on him because he's not bruiser. Again, wisely built, very, very smart, very, very smart. That one's on ruin. So if he does crit, his damage should be quite decent, but if he doesn't crit, it is kind of wasted. But he doesn't need crit for that to happen. Same thing with this one. Crit rate doesn't really matter. He's pushing some very, very high resist though, and he's on a bruiser build, so I'm sure this one does quite a bit damage as well. But of course the Evo 3 might triumph it because he is on a more glacier build with just overall better stats. Fire Pandora, aka Fire Kira. Her shield is based off her own max level. Rest in peace to the squad. She doesn't really need crit rate for her 3-star skill. I mean, if you can, do it. If you can't, don't really worry about it too much. Defense, HP, recovery. Again, aiming to get that 5-star off as soon as possible. Perfectly fine. Fire Jack, he might be using her soon, but he hasn't invested in her at all, so not really much to say there. We've already checked out Kira, so we can skip that one. Evo 3 Fire Odin, 60% resist, just nasty. HP, defense, HP. He's trying to keep her surviving as long as possible with as high as resist as possible. That way she can get her debuffs down and just make everyone cuss. Again, great job, Evo 3. I bet she is one doozy of a mon. One doozy of a mon. Next we have Light Pixie over here. Not Light Pixie. She's not light. It's Fire Pixie, man. It's Fire Pixie. My bad. But Adrenaline and then defense up. So defense, recovery, and then HP. Adrenaline only works on her, so not really worth the investment unless she was like double adrenaline or her adrenaline affect everyone else. But she could use a little bit more resist, but overall she's perfectly fine. She's perfectly fine. Even though it said she's a tank type, again, she's one of those mons where you build with recovery because you want her to get her 5-star skill off as soon as possible. So do keep that in mind. But she's fine though. She's fine. We'll skip one of the Nezas though because you have 2 of those. We'll go with this one. This one has a little bit more higher resist on her. Defense, HP. Again, just a Titan's mon. She's like the opposite of Fire Odin, which is perfectly fine. You just want her to have high resist and have her survive as much as possible just so she can get her debuffs off. This one is Triple Square Master Race though. HP, defense, HP. So this one's built kind of opposite towards the other one, where the other one's more defense based. This one's more HP based. Again, their main job is debuffing. I'm pretty sure they do that quite decently, but so far not much complaints other than the resist. Fire Yaksha coming in with 60% resist. That attack down and blind action, definitely a Titansmon. Definitely a Titansmon. But defense down, HP, and HP. He's trying to keep her surviving as long as possible, which is perfectly fine. Perfectly fine. No complaints there. Fire Vamp, which I never invested inside of a Vamp. I'm sorry. I just never saw any point. But he has some resist on him and max crit rate. Attack, crit rate, and then HP. Again, Bruiser build. His uses are pretty much like B9 and maybe some subpar clan versus clan teams. Other than that, I mean, you could definitely use him as dragons as well. But other than that, it is what it is. No complaints though. Fire Wild Fang, Triple Square Master Race on a Ruin set with max crit rate and some actually nasty resist. No HP on her though, but she does self-sustain, which is fine. But crit rate, defense, attack, more bruiser-ish. She doesn't need the HP gem because, again, she recovers. And with max crit and a Ruin set, I'm sure she recovers perfectly fine. And she can dish out some damage as well. So, pristine, man. Pristine. Fire Verde on a Leech set. Attack, HP, and then attack. Again, going for more damage. Not much resist. She's maybe a work in progress, but with how she's built now, she's built quite well. Probably better than most out there. But she's fine. She's fully booked up as well. She's fine. Of course, more resist could be added in the future, but for what it is today, she's fine, man. Fire Lupin. Really interested to see where you use him at. He's repping that max crit rate, which he needs for his defense down. And he has attack, HP, crit rate. Yep. He's fine. He's fine. Draca Like It's Hot. Rocking that max crit rate, HP, crit rate, and then attack. So you might be using him in PvP, which is why I'm assuming you have that HP gem on him. Very, very high resist and max crit rate. What more could you ask for? And he's Evo 3. No complaints, man. Fire Siegfried. He's on a Siphon set. Triple Square Master Race once again. Attack. Attack. Triple attack. So, again, Siegfried doesn't need, Fire Siegfried does not need crit rate in order to do his job. So if you want to put him on triple attack, he would do his job just as well as any other mon, especially as a mon that you need for running story with. He's fine. He's fine, dude. What's going to stun you in PvE when it's dead? Nothing. Fire Scubbus. You got her fully booked. Max crit rate, super evoed, and very, very high resist. Very, very high resist. 34% resist on that one gem, dude. Just nasty. Crit rate, then HP. Very important to have that HP on her because she's just not very, very tanky at all. She's very, very flimsy. But good job, man. Good job. She's gross. She is just gross and vile. Only thing that will make it better is Ruin, but as she stands today, perfectly fine. And then another Fire Pixie, which I already went over. And then a Fire Cupid, which he should be HP recovery. HP defense recovery. Yep, there we go. He could use more resist in the future. Obviously not a super big deal, but more resist in the future just to ensure that he gets his attack down and his recovery off. But I'm pretty sure LibertyPuff doesn't need help with Titans because his Titan damage is probably just disgusting. Just disgusting. He has a Pebble. I'm not sure why he has a Pebble though. Stun and Taunt. Not even going to waste my time reviewing this because this video is long enough. A Triple Square Master Race Bolt Wing, defense, HP, attack, more bruiser than anything with high resist, which is fine because with him being an attacker type, his stats for surviving are already very, very poor. So he's trying to offset that because this one is like a Nat 4 version of Fire Odin, but Neza's also a Nat 4 version of Fire Odin, but Neza has more survivability than Bolt Wing. So, you know, he's just trying to balance that aspect of Bolt Wing out, which he's using a mon given to him wisely once again. Perfectly fine. Perfectly fine. I mean, it is what it is. Fire Yuki with near max resist, super evoed. He's going for some crit rate on her as well, and she's on the Valor set to give her even more attack, HP, attack. Look at that resist, man. Look at that resist, and some crit rate on it too. And then crit rate. Not really sure why you have the crit rate up there when her moves don't need crit rate. Maybe you're trying to take advantage of the death blow. Very, very odd. Very, very odd. I mean, I'm not sure where you use her at, though. But this one has me puzzled. This one has me puzzled. So, Liberty, if you can explain with the crit rate on her, I would love to know what you got going on here with her. I mean, it's high enough, so maybe she does crit very, very often. And you're trying to take advantage of the death blow, so she does a little bit more damage, especially with the Valor set stacked on her. But I guess I would just try to make sure she can get her defense down off as much as possible. Not really sure. Not really sure. And then last but not least is his Fire Leo, which he does have books for. Coming in with near max resist, pretty much max crit rate. He has an HP lead on him as well. He has double hunter, so probably run him with maybe a crit lead, but he shouldn't have any problems critting, even with 1% off of your crit rate, the game still will not have your mons crit in a row like 8 times. You're like, dude, it's only 1% off. There's a 1% chance of you not critting, and it hits 5 times in a row where you don't crit. What the hell is going on here, man? What is going on? But crit rate, attack, going full glass again. Very, very nasty resist on this dude. Very, very nasty resist. And that's it. Fire Leo is very, very useful, especially in Dragon's B9, I believe. B9 or B8, I can't. Golem's B9, and then I think Dragon's B8 maybe. That's where I use mine at. But he's very well built. With that added defense percentage on him as well to give him a little bit more survivability. Though I don't really foresee mine having problems surviving. But anyways, he has max resist. Maybe he uses him more in a PvP situation. But max resist. But that's pretty much it for Liberty's Mon box. I mean, it's gross, dude. Overall, Liberty, your count has grown quite a lot since last time. And let's just check out your PvP squad. Which this is your hidden. Which could be very, very annoying with your Wood Nightmare. And then your lovely, lovely high resist Wukongs, which are also built tanky. And then let's see what you're running for your offense. So Dark Sparket, Dark Mona, Poseidon, and then Dark Tina. So he's using Poseidon as a placeholder for Light Succubus, which actually makes sense. If you can't get a Light Suck, why not get a Mon that can not do her job, but almost do her job just as well, which is actually farmable, kind of. I see what you're doing there. I see what you're doing. That's actually quite wise. Quite wise, just to help you try and blow through stuff, especially with getting Sparket with his 5-star stun off as soon as possible, helping Mona to get her Hunter off, and then Tina helping her to get her 5-star off as soon as possible as well, which I believe both of those are on a Siphon set anyways. So you're just trying to clear dudes out within a turn or two. Very, very wisely built, man. Very, very wisely built. But overall, Liberty, your count has been a blessing to check out. This is definitely a lot of things that will help a lot of others that might have similar mons to you or that are interested in Titans out. And dude, just great job though. Great job. I have nothing more to say, you guys. I do apologize for the length of the video, but when you have quality mons, you also have quality gems that need to be checked out and talked about. But yeah, once again, shout out to LibertyPuff for allowing me to do this. And as always, guys, thanks so much for watching. If you guys want a count review done, hit me up on Discord. We can schedule a time. And yeah, peace out.